Blog Talk Radio.
Matthew 24:12. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Hebrew bars and verses, listen up, pay attention. We the people of the book, qualified to spread the spirit of love, faith, truth, power. So endure to the end and stand tall. Tower. Yeah, he waking up his people, rise and shine. It's the day. All appeals have been answered. Some of us didn't have to pray. You was going about your business and got smacked in the ear. Cause the faith come by hearing. So Shema, that means hear. Ho, draw near. Cause the kingdom is at hand. And with you will be the boss. Kings and queens of the land. Coming right about the ghetto. Coming right about your brand. Being clothed in the garment like the holy Iyaraah have. Hebrew bars and verses, listen up, pay attention. We the people of the book, qualified to spread the spirit of love, faith, truth, power. So endure to the end and stand tall. Tower. Gold in the earth is ours, they gon' bring it all back. We gon' destroy all they weapons, yes, we gon' need all that. Yeah, the one world order ain't gon' work the way they guessing it. Israel for Congress, host, Yasharahla for president. Tell me we ain't heaven sent. The truth in the earth now. Your pastor was hesitant, never would have broke it down. So Ahaya had to raise his people for all nations, so we have a shot at eternal life, salvation. Hebrew bars and verses, listen up, pay attention. We the people of the book, qualified to spread the spirit of love, faith, truth, power. So endure to the end and stand tall. Tower. Hebrew bars and verses, listen up, pay attention. We the people of the book, qualified to spread the spirit of love, faith, truth, power. So endure to the end and stand tall. Tower. Hebrew bars and verses, listen up, pay attention. We the people of the book, qualified to spread the spirit of love, faith, truth, power. So endure to the end and stand tall. Tower.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Kwam Yasharahla.
Kwam Yasharahla.
Kwam Yasharahla.
Kwam Yasharahla.
Aman.
Shit, Kwam Yasharahla. G-Rise. Kwam Yasharahla. People of the book. To the increase of knowledge and truth. 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 We the people of the book. To the increase of knowledge and truth. To the increase of knowledge and truth. Shalom and brother Brian. In here with brother Arthur and sister Tamar. You're live on the People of the Book show. To the increase of knowledge and truth. Hebrew bars and verses on Blog Talk Radio. Let's get it.
Amen. Welcome everybody to another episode of the People of the Books, Hebrew Bars and Verses. I am your host, Tamar. I want to say thank you to everybody that called in last night. So on Monday nights we have Hebrew Hip Hop's The Fifth Element, and we engage in conversations about issues concerning Israel, primarily around music. But last night was great because we were able to focus in on just businesses in general and how we support each other, and we know whatever gifts the Most High give us. So I was definitely encouraged, and I hope and pray that that we keep that at the forefront of our mind. In fact, I can't think of who said it. Somebody said it last night, but they basically summed it up in a nutshell that when we support each other, we are essentially buying things that are rare anyway. Because the conversation came up about people charging a certain amount of money for their stuff, but that makes so much sense because we are peculiar, and so the things that we produce, you can't just go to the store and get them. So that made me think about, think a little bit more about the value and the stuff that people have. But I think it's definitely pertinent, and I'm sure this is not a new idea because I see a lot of brothers and sisters talking about our need to unify and come together, and that's beautiful because since I've been in this walk about 15 years, about 15 years, I would say that things have definitely changed and in a quick way. So So I just said it just to encourage everybody that, if you feel the urge to go to your brother or sister and build with them, then do it, because that's definitely a spirit that's moving, and that needs to ring louder than any kind of divisive thoughts we could even have or even say out of our mouths. That's the real test of who is Yasharahla or Israel or Yisrael. So, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now and get back to business. So, again, welcome everybody. Another episode. Real quick, a few announcements. Hadassah's newest EP called Black and Brew is scheduled to be released May 12th, which is next Friday, and you can find all of her music and beats and everything that she does at shinebrightservebig.com. So definitely support it if you're able to. Iyaraah is coming out with Journey Part 2, which is scheduled for May 19th, and you can check out all of his music at Iyaraah, so INYARACHAA.bandcamp.com. And then, of course, The Gathering. So No More Division is coming up, Part 2. It'll be July 2nd and 3rd in Kansas City, Kansas. And on Sunday, July 2nd, will be a No More Violence Family Barbecue. So children are invited to come. I believe it's going to be at a park that has a water park or something about water will be there. So it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be warm. But the radio station will be there, most high willing, to host the Truth Music Concert, which is the next day, July 3rd. And some of the artists set to perform are John Boy, MYMG, Paisley, The Hebrew, E from the Truth, Iyaraah, Yasharahla Nation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, again, the family barbecue is the day before. It's July 2nd. It's from 12 to 8. And the Truth Music Concert, July 3rd, will be from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Again in Kansas City. Kansas City, Missouri. But they're next to each other, right next to each other. Also, the Mitri and Head Raps first annual Hebrew meet and greet will be July 15th and 16th in Houston, Texas. It'll be a Saturday and Sunday, and there'll be a Truth Music Concert attached to that as well. I believe that Sunday, which is the 16th, there'll be opportunities to not only fellowship, but to support each other, each other's businesses. I think that it'll be opportunities to be a vendor rather, and to also support. So that should be good. And that'll be at the Alexander Dewson Park, again in Houston, Texas. And then just this morning I heard about another gathering in Atlanta, and the details are still being put together, but it'll be tentatively, I believe, August 25th through the 27th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, again on the premise of uniting, and it's a call to all classes, camps, again, but the point is, the video I saw earlier about it, the person that's organizing the event specifically said it's not just to sit around and talk about what's wrong, but to come with solutions. And Atlanta is full of Israelites, so it should be interesting if they're able to make it out. Definitely, I think I'll try to track the information and bring it out. If I hear more about it, but it is tentative, and I believe Hadassah, Queen O, will be performing there. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to open up these mics. But tonight's guest is it's Ganan Yasharahla, but it's actually the brothers from One Nation Foundation. So, I've been hearing about the work that they've been doing. In fact, they hosted a concert. I believe it definitely was last year, but I forget what month because time is going so quickly. But they hosted in a Truth Music concert in Seattle. I believe it was in Seattle. In Washington State, I'm pretty sure. I think it was in Seattle, but I'll let them explain more. But it was the headliner was John Boy and Real Judah, and it was seemed to be a beautiful thing. And I just wanted to definitely allow them the opportunity to talk about the work that they're doing outside of music. So anyway, without further ado, is it working? Can anybody hear me? Oops. Hey, Judah. Can you hear me? Iyaraah?
Shalom.
Can you hear me?
Shalom. I can hear you.
Hey, okay, cool. Is that Judah as well on the line? Or no? Maybe okay.
Maccabeus?
Maybe that's not his number. I thought that was his number. I'm gonna mute this mic back again and open up. Ganan, he just dropped out. Okay. Ganan?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's just you and Iyaraah. I see another number on there, but I'm gonna just check and make sure I didn't. If you can just give me the first 6 digits of Judah's number, so I can just check again and see if that's him.
Oh yeah. One sec.
Okay.
Yeah, he's you said the first 6 digits?
Yeah, not the whole number.
253682.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna open up the mic again. Maccabeus, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Shalom,
right,
shalom.
So welcome. Shalom. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm excited. I'm glad y'all had a chance. I know there's a time difference, but I'm glad y'all had a chance to come and visit with us live. Usually when people are on the West Coast, there's, we have to schedule different times because of the time difference. But anyway, thank y'all again for coming on the show. So before we begin, I did want y'all just to say, just say a few words about you all individually, and then we'll jump into the formal interview. So Ganan, if you could go ahead and just say a few words about who you are.
Yeah, I'm Brother Ganan Yasharahla. I live out here in Washington State. Grew up in Seattle. Just about doing that work, man. If that's through the music, if that's through fellowshipping with brothers, sitting down face to face, wherever the work is, that's where I'm at, man. That's all it is.
That's right. Maccabeus.
Okay. My surname Judah Maccabeus. I'm from Tacoma, Washington. That's about 30 minutes from Seattle. And like Ganan said, we're about doing this work for the kingdom. If that be through appealing to the masses through the music, then so be it. And we're not really camp oriented, so there's no real meeting every week or whatnot. We usually get with who we can and push the gospel to who we can and whoever's listening. All praise to the Most High.
Yeah. Iyaraah.
Shalom, family. I'm Iyaraah Yasharahla, born and raised in Washington State, and we aim 3-3. So I'm with the brothers, man. I'm about doing the work of the Most High and raising my people and bringing us back and helping to be those bricks to restore Israel to what we were called to be.
Right. So
all praise to the Most High.
So instead of throwing a brick at each other, you want to pick them up and build something. That's great.
God.
Right. So how did you all meet then? Did you all know each other before the walk or what?
I met Ganan through working at the airport at SeaTac. And it was funny that you said that. It was about a year ago this time. I remember we was out back behind the little building, and we was talking, and he said, man, I got all these raps I got in this notebook. I was like, well, what are you going to do? He was like, I don't know, man. I said, well, you should record that. And here we are, a year later.
Right. Good advice. Right.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, them rhymes. I was back there. I had this notebook, this little black rhyme
book. Notebook.
And man, it got a lot of lyrics in there, but a lot of that stuff I wrote when I was going through some other stuff. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Before I came to this knowledge, the last thing I wrote in that book was a page letting whoever found this book know that I'm never writing in this book again. I know who I am. I know who my power is. I know who my people are. I know the name of my God. I'm done with this book. There was another person writing in that book, but then the time period had to go where I needed to figure out certain things in regarding this knowledge now that I'm learning about. So it wasn't time for me to start getting into music like that and trying to put lyrics together because it just wasn't there yet, Then finally it comes to a point now where I'm listening and seeing what's going on amongst my people, the ones who are awake, and those who aren't. We're all Israel, but then you got the awakened ones and the ones who haven't figured it out yet. Right. But nevertheless, we are Israelites. That's our nationality. It's not I'm not an Israelite because I'm woke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just looking and seeing what's going on, and I'm listening to truth music and whatnot. And it came to a point, and I'm not busting shots at nobody. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying it came to a point where a lot of truth music I could no longer listen to, due to the fact that it wasn't speaking to the people who were in that place where that brother who was writing in that notebook was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't talking to them no more. It was only talking to those who already understood what was going on. So myself, I could no longer listen to it because I wasn't trying to wake up somebody that was already well. I'm trying to speak to these brothers out here that, can't seem to stop killing each other, can't seem to stop leaving their families, can't seem to stop believing that you getting rich involves you destroying your own people. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I need to talk to them. So I could no longer relate or listen to a lot of the music that was even in my own playlist, so it came to a point where I guess I got to start making my own then, and Brother Judah Maccabeus was already on that. I guess maybe he was waiting for me to get on that tip too. I don't know, but sure enough, the Most High linked it up, and we on the same page on that. So the music we put out now, in regards to anything we record future, I only did one song that, like I said, when I put it out there, this is the only song I probably ever gonna do that's targeted towards the awakened Israelites. Anything else we do, we talking to those who don't even know what's going on. Because when I was first coming into the truth, you can ask Iyaraah. He invited me to a little get together barbecue a couple miles from my house, and they was bumping some truth music, and I was like, "What is this? What the heck is this?" He was like, "Man, that's truth music. You don't like that? Look, he's talking about it." I'm like, "I don't know what that is. That beat, I know the song that came from. What is this?" I couldn't listen to it. I couldn't stand it. And even John Boy's music, I bumped John Boy like I'm crazy now, but back then I couldn't listen to John Boy. I couldn't listen to Real Judah, no Brother Bronze, nothing. I couldn't relate to it. It wasn't speaking to me, so I couldn't listen to it. It wasn't until I started understanding things that I could listen to it, So now I'm coming from the standpoint to talk to the brother that was that guy that couldn't listen to truth music, but they need to hear these messages. They need to get something planted, some seeds planted in their minds and their spirit where they're at. That's what we're trying to do with this music. I don't even remember what the subject matter was that had me even answer that question, but there it goes.
No, because we do ask how did you come to the knowledge of truth. So I'm glad I'm glad you said that. So since you said you found out about it from Iyaraah, how did you come to the knowledge of the truth?
I'm gonna give you the condensed version.
Yeah, right. That was a long paragraph. No, go ahead.
So I grew up actually at the same church that Ganan Yasharahla's family went to, with Seventh-day Adventism and stuff like this.
Oh, wow.
And man, I was in it. I grew up still operating with it. Had my own family. Had going to a church deacon and all this other stuff. And some brothers had come through to the church, and they was talking about this Israelite stuff and who we are. And man, it just had went on for like about a month, and we had went outside of the church, met up with the brothers, was debating and all this. And one day, one day, one of the brothers came back to the church after they had been kicked out several times. He comes back, and he was telling I was talking to him, and I was like, "Man, I see you're back," and he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Well, there must be something here for you if you keep coming back and wooty woo." And he was like, "Well, maybe it's something for you," And so, long story short, I went home later, and I had ended up losing connect with these brothers. I lost their numbers, all that, and I went home later that evening. I was like, what if the brother's right? What if it is for me? What if I'm rejecting the truth right now?
Right.
And so I was like, man, let me start doing some research. Let me search this stuff out, man, because I already know what I believe. So it's not going to change much if I start searching it and it's all off base. So I start doing my research and digging, and next thing you know, hey, man, we the people. And so we the people. I came into the truth, and I was all by myself at this moment, because it had been like a year had passed since I had ran into those brothers. So I had no way of reaching them or anything. And out of the blue one day, one of the brothers still had my number, and he called me. And I was just like, man, all praises, man. I'm in the truth. This is what's up, and man, it just ain't turned around since then. And I ran into one of the family friend members that is actually a family member of Ganan, and I was talking to her about it. And long story short, she hooks him up with me, and hey, the rest is history.
See? And that, of course, we know everything. Ain't no accidents. You know what I'm saying? Things happen for a reason, but that is a beautiful testimony, because we ask everybody that question, and everybody's testimony has been amazing, and it's always been when they finally heard it, so it kind of clicked for them. But what I wanted to just tap into about what you said about them brothers coming to your church and being consistent, because there's a brother who you all may know who he is, but he's with NYMG, but his name is Karata Zaya, and he is like he roams the country and goes to different states and like talks to people directly. You know what I'm saying? He's like John the Baptist almost. He'll moving around talking to people. But last year when we went to Kansas for the first No More Division concert, I believe a few of them brothers stayed back after the concert. After everybody went home, they stayed back to do the work, and they actually, I think it was like the next day, they went into a church and basically flipped the whole doggone church, where the person was like, I think the pastor was like, "Here, you can just, you teach us now." And it was funny because he took a video of it, and they had a building already, so they had to worry about where they was gonna gather. They just used the same building, but it was beautiful to see the power of that, and it goes to our willingness to serve. You know what I'm saying? If you really have it in your heart, and that's what I'm saying about the work that y'all doing. Like, I admire that kind of stuff, because we need more examples of our brothers really doing it in the community and not just talking about it or not pointing a finger or nothing. Like you said, if in fact the information the brother was giving you was wrong, you would have known that anyway, and that takes faith. A lot of us don't want to engage in conversations because we feel like we're gonna get thrown off. But no, what you know to be the truth, you know to be the truth. You know what I'm saying? And if it's for us to get, you're gonna get it. But we don't even want to consider. I'm saying us people as a people, not just necessarily knowing who you are, but just us. Human nature is like everybody's so comfortable. So yeah, that's a beautiful testimony. Right. I ain't mean to go off on a rant, but that's a beautiful testimony. So what about you, Judah? How'd you? Well, I know Ganan probably told you, but
what happened with me was my pastor is my grandpa. So growing up, I was always in the church. I was the youth leader. I was leading them songs, and, doing my thing. And then I started, I think it was one of my uncles, they said he already switched up. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? I was trying to try to figure out what he was, and I was listening to who he was, but I only got one gem from all he was talking about at that time. I got one gem. That gem was Deuteronomy 28. Okay? Right. And then going forward, I was just still walking and growing. I ended up meeting up with a few brothers out here who have like a small little gathering going on Saturdays. We'd meet up, and I remember this. This is funny. I was just telling somebody this the other day. They was passing out apocryphas at the Bible study, and I'm looking at the red book like, oh no, I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm kind of already sketched. This is not church. First of all, you know what I mean. This isn't what I'm accustomed to. So I'm going to pass on that red book. But I did take a new KJV Bible. You know what I mean? And going forward, like a couple weeks after I was going into that group, I had got that job at the airport. And when I was working on at the airport, I don't know how me and Ganan came across each other. It was probably that spirit. I said something that caught his attention. He said something. And I don't know. Since then, we was always connecting. He was showing me scriptures. He was putting me on with a whole bunch of PDFs, a whole bunch of books and whatnot. And all I was doing was just absorbing it all. I wasn't refuting no information. I'm just absorbing it, because once you have knowledge and understanding, you understand that this is all correlating and tying in to the scripture.
That's right.
All these extra books that they have out here that they took out and removed and they put mental chains on people can be used to liberate our people. And for my part of the music, I'm still out here working 40 hours a week for the white man. And that's what it is. My music is for people who still out here stuck in the matrix, who want to get out, who took that red pill and freed their mind, but it's ugly and grievous with all the knowledge and wisdom that comes with living in a wicked world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just speak the truth for the ones that's out here, still out here. Because when you think about it, we're Israelites, but how often are we near Israelites? You may be near 10 in a room with 10 Israelites, and you be the only one that know that you're Israel. You may be working these jobs. I work at a sawmill. There's two Israelites at the mill. So it's a lot of things that go in on a person's psyche, on how they feel, and the things that they're going to end up saying. Because I read the scripture, but I'm also, when I rhyme, I'm telling what it is.
Right.
I'm still out here stuck in the matrix, waiting for the Savior to come back.
That's right.
Just like everybody else, 40 hours a week. That's my testimony.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that about the Apocrypha in particular, because the class I came from, I'm not with a camp or class at all either. You know, in fact, I have learned more being outside of the camp. And again, this is not a anti-camp phrase. It's just speaking the truth, at least my truth. I've learned more about when gathering with other people, other believers. You know what I'm saying? No matter where they came from, than I did when I was in the class. So, but as far as the Apocrypha is concerned, we was kind of we was told not to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And I totally agree with you. It's a lot of stuff in the book that just amplifies the 66. So my experience has been, reading through it. I'm like, oh, this refers to this person. What about this person? So it's like this constant ping pong thing in my head. But I wouldn't have known that unless, the Most High gave me a will of mind to at least consider it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's nothing too. We get so stuck in our ways. But how you gonna grow? And I think that this is my opinion. The book talks about the spirit of Antichrist, and often when you say Antichrist, it's a reference to like a literal man. But I believe the spirit of Antichrist is actually, you don't need Christ, which is the word of God. You know what I'm saying? You don't need it. So you walk around like, I'm straight. You ain't straight. You know what I'm saying?
No,
straight.
The word stands firm. The word stands firm. It says, "Who is the Antichrist? Him that denieth the Father. Him that acknowledges the Father and did not the Son is the Antichrist. Any spirit that does not confess that Christ came in the flesh is an Antichrist." And yes, there are Antichrists walking amongst us. And like you said, when that term is thrown out, people immediately immediately go to a one figure, when the word says that is a spirit that is moving. That is a spirit that's moving amongst people, the Antichrist spirit, the anti-commandment spirit.
Right, right. And then also you said about about our workplaces, because I work at a university, you know what I'm saying, a little private white university, you know what I'm saying, and the same thing, like I'm automatically attracted to, you know what I'm saying, black people, because I know, like, it's my responsibility to at least say something, and to say something to everybody. It ain't just, just to black people. But I'm just saying. But I totally agree with you. It's about being committed to the work regardless. You know what I'm saying? So you might not be around an ideal situation. You do have to go to work and you have to do this, but you are serving no matter where you go. You know what I mean?
Amen.
We all, So ain't no off days, and
it's a spiritual thing, because the spirit testifies. Because even the white men at my job, I got all the tribes of Judah carved on my pickaxe. They see that they see it testifies. Your actions, your boldness, and how you can stand firm in environment like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we all have to stand firm for who we are and what we believe in an environment.
That's right.
I've explained this to white people, and they get it. They understand it. They understand it. It's how you approach. It's not the cuss-out approach. Not at all.
Right.
If you explain it to them with love, that's what love is. Explain it to them with the love of why. If you give understanding, yes, your people did some unfortunate things to my people, and there are consequences for that. Okay, understanding that, moving forward, we come to an agreement and come to an understanding on how we all can get to the kingdom. That's my belief.
That's right. That's right. And I want to read this real quick. 1 Peter 2, 11 and 12. It says, "Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the day of visitation." So that's it.
Amen.
Exactly.
And they're gonna see something that's different about you. They're gonna see it, and it's his opportunity to glorify the Father, because He's the one that ultimately got to give the praise has to go to Him. It ain't about you. You're not particularly special. You know what I'm saying? But you special in that show. You have a certain job to do, right? But it is definitely about being mindful of how we act all the time, even in situations where it could be confrontational. You know, I found myself having to, be quiet a lot, which is good. But I'm saying old Tamar would have snapped off, but I have to be mindful.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. You know what I mean? Because I know my Father looking at me like, okay.
Well,
go ahead.
We got to understand also what we represent. You know, if you're gonna, and I tell my children this when they got to go to school. I'm like, hey, remember, you're representing your people, you're representing your family, you're representing the laws that you say you believe and uphold. You represent a power that don't play. So don't be out there acting like somebody that is representing something else. For example, because I was in the military at one point in my life, right? So if I'm in the military and I'm out on the weekend, and I got my dog tags on or whatever, people know I'm in the military. How am I representing my unit? How am I representing my sergeant? How am I representing our credo and everything we've trained to do? What representation am I showing people? If I'm wearing a uniform, am I in a strip club in an Army uniform? Nah, that's a no-no. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing. I'm in the Most High's Army now. You feel me? So if I'm out there and I'm rocking His uniform, which is righteousness, people they can see it. They can see that light coming off you. It's undeniable. You walk through a room and it parts like the Red Sea sometimes. You feel me? They can see it. So if you're out there wearing that uniform, and especially if you're literally having something on, like some fringes or on your shirt, you're saying this, or you know what I'm saying, or people already know, how are you representing that? How are you proving what is good to them and acceptable unto the Most High?
That's right.
And that includes not only to other Israelites that don't know who they are, but also to Gentiles who are looking at us, and the first thing they do, what do? I'm an Israelite. Okay, let me Google that real quick. Okay, there's some guy out there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How are we being represented? So I can't change what somebody else is doing, but I can take care of how I represent my people, my brethren, the people I associate with, the God I serve, and the laws I uphold. I can do that. I can't control this brother over here and over there. But if we're in the same spirit, I won't have to.
Right. Somebody wanted to jump in? I heard somebody in the background.
I was just going to say. I was just going to say, as the scripture says, we have been made a spectacle for the world. And we have been called to be a light to the Gentiles. And this is something, there are several verses that draw us in to look and see that there is something that must be seen amongst these people. We have to be the light to show the people in the world, to show a dark world what it looks like to have peace, what it looks like to have love, what it looks like to be on one accord. Okay, and so that's where my focus is, as far as this walk goes, and as far as upbuilding my people in the kingdom, is to turn on that light amongst Israel so that we can be that light that shines in the darkness. Because, and how Ganan was saying, it doesn't, about the truth music. If somebody's already awake, it does me no good to go and turn on a lamp in a room that's already lit.
There it is.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? So, so I would need to be. We got to be that light. the world needs to see us and how we operate because they're watching. Truth be told, everybody can see the damage and the destruction and the demoralization of this world, and everybody's looking for an answer. The Most High Power has called Israel and set us aside to be that answer to the world.
Right.
That's the truth. And like he said, about talking about the light, it says that same scripture. It said a city that is built on a hill will always be seen. You said people don't light candles and put them under tables and whatnot.
Right.
Like, well, and even if you can't, this is a main part of dealing with our people or this music that we put out. It's dropping seeds. You know what I mean? Planting seeds. Because at the same time, you may tell this brother this thing now, and then you may get that call I just got the other day, and then everything will have clicked in that person's life, their own journey. So all you can do is plant that seed, let the Most High water it in that person's life. And that's what we're doing. Planting seeds.
That's right.
To everybody. Right. Everybody's getting seeds.
Right.
Anybody can get it.
Right.
Everybody.
So I want to go ahead and jump into the music. The first song I want to play is called Dead Grass. So I'm not sure who wants to introduce it, but whoever wants to go ahead and introduce it, and we'll go ahead and play it. So go ahead.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, this is Dead Grass. I'm gonna let y'all listen to the song before, cause I rap in parables. So after the track, then I'll explain what that Dead Grass is. But yeah, this is Dead Grass. That's an original beat by a brother named J. Uno Bellamy. You can find him on Facebook. You know, he got a studio out in Tacoma, and he goes hard with the work. So yeah, that's his beat. The Most High giving them lyrics. Brother Judah Maccabeus, he's on there doing his thing. So yeah, it's a nice track. Go ahead and bump it.
Amen. Again, this is Dead Grass. This is Ganan Yasharahla featuring Judah, Judah Maccabeus. And as always, listen to the lyrics. Here we go.
I'm just a man, but they hate that I'm standing on these 2 feet. They'd rather me acting goofy. I'm craving knowledge like Pookie, like he craved crack. Visions of them scars on that slave back. Ain't nothing changed. Look at your life, let's get their name back. Finding our way back to them kings we was. You carnal, we got them pistols. For Bali, we got epistles. The covenants stay official. The rosary ditch is hardcore. Can't get caught in them thorns. The Father's promise far more. We was made to rule this earth that we die on, not the corners you grind on or the block that you ride on. Are you clinically blind, home? Sets and traps, the enemy sets and traps. You helping them pills and caps. You screaming them thug rhymes, appealing the thug minds. Can't figure why you can't change. You write it off at tough times. Sitting back with your mind blown, contemplating switching time zones. Never thought to consider that we them dry bones. Brother, I'm dead ass. Underneath you is dead grass. Running in somebody else's race and wonder why we coming dead last. As these days change, the game grows harder. You're reaching for your dreams, but they seem to get farther, and your schemes get larger. Not knowing who's for a friend, you having visions of the future, but can't tell how it ends. So now you're praying to the Father for that water. Cause death surrounds you, no life around you.
Just a man, but they hate to see me stand up on my 2 feet. They rather see me dead broke on the corner just like Pookie. Homies walking past on the grass, they never knew me. I'm walking on dead grass, I'm coming in dead fast. I'm just a man, but they hate to see me stand on my 2 feet. They rather see me dead broke on the corner like Pookie. Homies walking past look like they never knew me. I'm walking on dead grass, I'm walking on dead grass. Walking on dead grass and I'm coming in dead last. Trying to get it in and I don't know how I got it going. Gotta keep it flowing cause Judah, he really know me. Father, forgive me, I've been feeling really lonely. I'm walking on dead grass, I've been coming in dead last. Walking by myself and I've been feeling like I can't go. Man, I need some water, feeling real thirsty. A higher rate on me, pour it all, let me have some mercy. I'm walking on dead grass, I'm walking on dead grass. I'm coming in dead last, I'm coming in dead last. The dead grass, I'm walking on dead grass. Oh, dead grass, we're walking on dead grass. They hate to see me stand on my 2 feet. They'd rather see me on the corner strung out like Pookie. Homies walking past looking like they never knew me. Ay. Like they never knew me. Homies walking past like they never knew me. Hey. Like they never knew me. We walking on dead grass. We walking on dead grass. No way out. At least that's the picture that they painting for you. For the hood with drugs, you step outside and 12 is waiting for you. You'd rather die before they get you in the cuffs again. So you brandish and butt, then you jump the fence. You can't beat the radio. Man, they own these streets, and they remind you when they shackle up your hands and feet. Little man's is gonna grow up and he'll do the same. It's a shame. You've been cursed to be a modern day slave. Man, it's ignorance we glorify is killing all our kings and queens. You never ask yourself how could we go from kings to fiends, destroying our own kind, forbidding our own rights, living the propaganda and destroying our own lives. But they hate to see me stand up on my 2 feet. They rather see me dead broke on the corner just like Pookie. Homies walking past on the grass, they never know me. I'm walking on dead grass, I'm coming in dead last. I'm just a man, but they hate to see me stand on my 2 feet. They rather see me dead broke on the corner like Pookie. Homies walking past look like they never knew me. I'm walking on dead grass, I'm walking on dead grass.
Isaiah 58 verses 10 through 12. And if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity and thy darkness be as the noonday. And the Lord shall guide thee continually and satisfy thy soul in drought and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. So I love the metaphors. I'm a huge metaphor fan. I think that's the book is full of them, and I think the visual sometimes is harder. I mean, it's easier to remember. I think so. But what inspired you to write that song?
Well, I mean, that scripture right there says pretty much everything in regards to the word. But
right.
What that song was dealing with. See, I understand when the Messiah speaks in these parables, it's in levels, right? There's on one level where it's dealing with you personally, your family, whoever you're amongst, and then ultimately your nation, your whole people, the kingdom, right? Because the kingdom within you, it's your people. So when coming at dead grass, I'm coming at the same way. That's in levels. So you got the dead grass on one level as literally dead grass. Like a lot of people grew up in this type of setting. I grew up in this setting myself and my mom, she said it, she was like, man, there was trash everywhere. The grass was dead, and the paint was peeling off all the buildings, but y'all didn't even care. Y'all was just playing. You was just happy to be able to play outside,
Right.
But also noticing on this side, the grass is dead. Nobody's taking the time to water it. Nobody's taking the time to cut it and make it look nice. Where in other neighborhoods and other upper neighborhoods, other nations, they actually take care of their grass. They try to present themselves and their people put together. You feel what I'm saying? Look at my grass. They have little contests and everything. Look at my grass is better than yours. Meanwhile, our grass is dying, and on top of that grass, we park a brand new car, a nice car, right? You got brothers going broke trying to look rich while their grass is dead. Then on the next level, you got us, the dead grass. We ain't taking the time to take care of each other. We ain't taking the time to tend to our grass while we help destroy each other and allow other people to trample all over us. we ain't taking the time to take care of each other. You know, we that dead grass, and we need that water from the Most High, or are people going to stay that way?
I know that's right. So that's a good segue to the One Nation Foundation. So, so whoever wants to speak on that, let us know about that, about the work there. What inspired you? I'm curious about how y'all decided to come together to start this.
So this is Iyaraah. The foundation, man, it really started from myself and, well, actually from the Most High. You know, I gotta give all glory to Him, man. We want no credit in this. You know,
right?
So really, the Most High had just one of the brothers that had come to the church. You know, me and him, we was keeping it tough. You know, we was actually going around and building and spreading seeds out here in Washington, and you know, the Most High had just started showing us things in the Scripture, and pulling out things as far as looking at our nation and looking at what the Scripture is actually saying. The book is about nations. It's about every nation on the earth, and we are one of those nations, the chosen nation. Okay, and so those laws, we understand them. The Most High was just showing us that, hey, man, these laws are not do's and don'ts for heaven or hell. These laws were given to our forefathers so that when they went into their land, in their country, they would operate and run it by these standards.
Absolutely.
And so we just started looking at it and started digging into some other things, and the Most High brought other stuff to our attention that, you know, we just started looking at things closer, and we went over certain things, certain laws, I should say, as far as laws that were written out in the Torah, and we realized that there's a system in place to build our nation, and so we decided that, hey, you know, let's come together underneath these laws, and the Scripture lets us know that if you fall in one point of the law, then you've broken them all, right?
Right, broken them all, right.
So if we're calling people to come back to the law, then we must come back completely. So we started to focus on how come nobody's talking about the tithing. We hear a lot of arguing and bittering back and forth about this situation and what it is and what it's not supposed to be. But all praises to the Most High, He delivered through the Scripture the understanding of this, because we would go to elders, and once, like you guys said before, this is not a bash on any camp or anything like that, because we learn from them. And, you know, by no means do we want to be putting a bad light on anyone who is our brethren. But nonetheless, the Most High showed us some things, and through this, we went to some leaders of some camps and things and started asking questions, and they could never give us an answer. They told us that they themselves had been looking into these things, but for some reason they didn't pursue it. They never gave us an answer why they weren't continuing to pursue it or whatever. But we looked and we saw that, hey, according to Malachi, tithing is tied into Deuteronomy 28. It says that the whole nation is cursed with a curse.
Right.
So if we're trying to lift ourselves from the curses, and the answer is to come back to the law, is this a law that we're not keeping?
Right.
Does this law still stand according to the new covenant, or was it nailed to the cross with the law of sacrifice?
Right.
And so I can't see that in the Scripture that it's done away with.
Right. I agree.
So nonetheless, we understood that in the Torah it says that this law of tithing was for the Levites. Why? Because they had nothing. They didn't have an inheritance, so they needed to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
Okay? For the widow, for the fatherless, and for the stranger. Okay? And who are we right now as Israel? According to Malachi, it said the curses, right? It said we're cursed with a curse. So we're the widows. Our brothers are getting shot and slain down in the streets, leaving our sisters to raise the children. We're those widows.
That's right.
We are the fatherless, according to the curse where it says that he shall leave his children. We're the ones throughout the earth who all of our fathers are leaving. Doesn't matter what tribe you're from.
Right.
We're the strangers that are in somebody else's land right now, family.
Yeah. That's right.
Though we must come back to this law to build our people separate from everyone else. This law was designed for us on how to operate in the earth. And so that is the foundation on which we decided to start building and create an organization where it could be a central hub as far as that storehouse goes that was the central hub for our nation when we were in our land. And so now we can be able to be this central hub and connect brothers and sisters from all over and do for our people, those widows, those fatherless, the strangers, who we are, and build and bring us up out of this position that we're in, and to be that light, to give all glory to the Most High, so that the nations can look and say, what are they doing? How did they do this? Because we've been marching, we've been doing everything underneath the sun, and there is no progress.
That's right.
There is no progress. But the only person who can get the glory when we come together and build our storehouse and build our nation and build our people is the Most High power, because the only thing we can turn to is say, we're keeping the law. This law is for us. That's all we're doing. So the foundation was created just to be a central hub where brothers and sisters throughout the country can get together and build their storehouses and have their storehouse connect to the major storehouse that governs, or not governs, I shouldn't use that word, but distributes throughout the whole body and builds for the whole of us as a nation. So that's pretty much how we got started. And now, there's a board, and we are operating. We have businesses going, and the Most High has blessed us tremendously to get to the point where the brothers and sisters are waking up out here who say they're awake. They're coming out of these certain camps and different things, and realizing that there is more to do than just say I'm an Israelite and wear fringes.
Right.
There's more work to be done, and so this is where we're trying to get our people to on that same page. So the Most High has us connecting with brothers on the East Coast right now, and all throughout the South, we have brothers who are looking to start building and have this spread throughout the country so that we can operate in our groups or so-called churches, our congregations throughout the earth as one body, one mind, one goal, in the same mindset, pushing towards the same goal, and that is to raise the nation of Israel and restore it to its rightful place underneath Christ. That's
right. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm glad you brought up all of that, because I think the money thing is, and we were talking about that last night. The money thing is a touchy subject. I think we don't trust each other. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying whether you're Israelite or not, we don't trust each other. And but if we don't, and I know a brother I work with. We've had conversations before, and he don't necessarily believe that he's an Israelite, but he said he believes in a higher power. And he said, if we don't take care of each other, then who will? So, even among those who just know something ain't right, they looking to each other. We should be looking to each other anyway, but I think the money thing got to become a part of the conversation, because, and I know the tithing thing is, I'm not sure why it's controversial, but I know it is. I've heard that it's controversial, but I know for a fact that if it was not for tithing, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do in the radio station. We wouldn't be able to travel, and you know what I'm saying, and support people. So I know for a fact that it is beneficial, and also, we should be able to go to any state in this country and find our brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to do that, and nobody should be suffering. In fact, that's what, like you said, that's what the law is about. The fact that they didn't glean the corners of their yard, you know what I'm saying, was about making sure your neighbor, if they happen to be passing. That's how Christ was able to get that corn in that time, because somebody was following the law. It was the Sabbath day. He walking through the fields. He got hungry, and his food was right there. But we don't think like that. We are selfish because we're in this country that promotes selfishness. We don't. We feel like if we give, then we will have less. But the Most High said, "I own the cattle on 1,000 hills." He said, "If I was hungry, I wouldn't even tell you." You know what I'm saying? So whose is it really? Whose abundance is it really? You know, but it takes a certain mindset to even and going through the process, because I've learned through my time that the best way to get what he's talking about, not that we gonna know everything he thinks, but the best way we gonna at least get the benefit of the law is by doing the law, by seeing the benefits of it. You know, but go ahead.
Because you said something where I just want to provide a scripture right there.
Yeah,
just for the people. I don't mean to cut you off, sister, but
no, it's all good. Go ahead.
Praise the Most High. Okay, so in Sirach chapter 29.
Yep.
Okay, you know where I'm about to read, huh?
Yeah.
Sirach. Okay, Sirach 29. I'll start at verse 7.
Okay.
It says, "Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded." Now, just on that verse alone, when I speak to brothers who are dealing with the Nation of Islam or dealing with Egyptology and all this other stuff, or dealing with RBG or whatever it is, anything except for the scriptures, right? I understand what our oppressors did with the Bible was turn us against it, doing everything under the sun against the scriptures while telling us that's in the Bible, so that we naturally turn against it and say that's a tool they use to oppress us. So now a lot of our brothers and sisters wake up and get so-called conscious and get into all this other knowledge, but won't connect that one piece that we are these people and we got laws in here, we got all this. Just don't even want to open it up. That's because they used it and turned us against those records. So when I understand the tithes, right, it's the same thing. They took that thing, that law that would actually break our dependence from them and have us working together and actually building and raising up, took that and turned and had us turn against that. Why? Because of their ill dealing. You feel what I'm saying? And now people are afraid to be defrauded because Pastor Porkchop, took your tithe money and bought a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? Now we're Israelites and we don't even want to touch it. Now we're adamantly against it. We talk about against it all day. We post about it all day. Nobody wants to touch it, right? I'll keep reading. Verse 8, "Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy." And we know that's in the law, right?
Right.
To be patient with those who are going through it right now. Everybody's going through it. So, if someone's not able to help out as much as somebody else is, as a nation, we shouldn't be coming down on somebody because, hey, if you're keeping tithes, your tenth is your tenth. If it ain't as much as my tenth, it's all going to the nation as a whole anyway. And we're going to take care of those who are poor amongst us. And the Most High's law is merciful anyway. And then verse 9 says, "Help the poor for the commandment's sake, and turn him not away because of his poverty." Right? "Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost." This is a mindset we must understand. People are afraid, literally afraid. Maybe this is a personal belief, but I'm basing this off of what I've seen and heard and witnessed myself. People are afraid to lose money for their own people. And it's not even lose money like you took a loss. It's investing in somebody else. You got brothers who want to start a business. Don't stand there and tell them why they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? This is support. And if we're keeping our storehouse as a nation anyway, that money going to that business and if we do what we're supposed to do according to the law, the Most High is going to bless the work. But if that's not part of the plan, it was just something we needed to see there, and that phases out. Hey, you still my brother. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to put into the work, funds, and resources. You know what I'm saying? We rise and we fall as a nation, same way we did before.
That's right.
And verse 11 says.
Go ahead.
Let me just grab two more verses.
Can I bring something out before you do that, brother?
Oh, yeah.
How the brother was saying, if we all were to come together and do such a thing, like right now, we started some businesses over here. The businesses have people's names on them.
Right.
That business doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to the foundation. It belongs to the nation. Sister, do you have children who need a job? Because they got one.
Right. I know that's
Guess
right.
what?
Man.
Guess what, sister?
Right. Yeah.
I don't need a job application. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So this is the mindset that the brothers bringing out here, is that we look around and we see the Elamites, the Indians, and the Asians, and all these people, and we go into their places of business, the Africans, and it's nothing but them in there. And we're wondering, we're like, look at these guys. But everybody is using our example from our scriptures, and they're implementing it and cutting us out.
Right.
We must wake up and come back to what we're supposed to be doing, and keeping all of those other laws as well.
Right.
The nations are waiting for us.
I know that's right.
They're waiting for us.
Right. So that right here, you basically segued into these last two verses. I'm going to read out of Sirach 29. Verses 11 and 12. It says, lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. Shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction. So we know in the New Testament, right, the New Testament writings, you show people giving alms, right? Alms. That came from the storehouse to take care of the poor, to take care of the naked, to take care of the hungry, to take care of our neighbor. It came out of our storehouse.
Right. Man, that's beautiful. And now y'all got me stuck, because I'm thinking about, that whole, your kids don't need a job application. Because that's, it be stuff like that. That's simple as I don't know what. And in fact, other nations, they do that. Like where I work, like my job, I'm a grant writer, right? So I'm saying that to y'all, I'm a grant writer. If anybody needs some help writing, like, you already know, I'm here. But the position was created, I believe, because somebody's friend needed a job, and I think she was older. So they approached like an individual donor, and the donor is like funding my position or whatever. So, but that's how it works. You know what I'm saying? When and then the other day somebody I know, well, one of my coworkers, she got promoted, and so now her position is open. And the conversation was pretty much like, well, my boss said to her, here's a person that might be good for the job. But they do that all the time, and we don't never pay it to mind, you know what I'm saying, or have it in our mind. But that's a good point. But even looking at our kids is really the point I wanted to get at, because I have 3 boys, and my husband he passed, but when he was alive, he was like a go-getter, you know what I'm saying? He was a businessman, and so I learned a lot about the business stuff from him, but he had that same kind of mindset, like, we could be our own employees. But then even looking at my kids now and thinking about what are they going to have to encounter when they get older, because the job's not getting more. It's not like the world is getting better. We know how it's going to end. The book already explained how things are going to end, right? So we need to have opportunity, at least opportunities for our children to learn from each other, from older brothers and from older sisters, because the same thing goes for young women. They should be able to have an elder, not necessarily in age, but a sister that's willing to, help them out, teach them how to be virtuous. Basic things like that. That we don't take that to heart. But I think that's beautiful that that's a conscious thing that y'all doing, because it's definitely necessary, and that's how you build a nation. You don't just read the book and then feel comfortable about what you know personally. It's about investing in our kids, investing in our brothers and sisters, so that we all benefit collectively. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Hassan. Jump in.
Shalom. Sorry, I was listening in. Kind of tired of my life's an action movie. Great conversation. A lot of it, man, is really right after my own heart. The same thing that the brother said about starting the One Nation Foundation. It was the same thing I said to myself in 2000. I said, I said, man, this is the fatherless. You know what I'm saying? This neighborhood full of people, you know, because I knew the fathers. And I knew they was either on dope or going to jail or, you know, they have no clue about fathering or care about learning it. So I said, and the book said this is pure religion to help the fatherless and the widow in their afflictions, in their affliction. So I started a mentoring group called One Mob. It's acronym, so it's on a never-ending mission of bravery. You know, I had God all out there, and what really spawned from it was a basketball tournament that we ran for 4 years. If you remember the time, it was when And One was really big, so all the kids was playing basketball and then doing the tricks with the basketball. So it really, but them was the primary principles of it. You know what I'm saying? To help the fatherless, saying idle time is the devil's workshop or whatever, or you know, in idle time they can get themselves in trouble. So instead of leaving them for the summer to figure out how to get you through the summer, we started the basketball tournament a week after school started, and it went to a week before the school went back to school with a big, and the Most High blessed it until I moved out of town. But nevertheless, it was the same principle. Now, going further in the conversation, what I heard was about nation building, man, and everybody don't get that. Even this, in tithing, I'm going to read this just to add on to it, because we are the church. You know, we are the church. You know what I'm saying? That's all I understand. What brothers bypass that, and then they get to high-fiving and saying we under these acronyms. No, me, I am the church. You know what I'm saying? So now I follow Christ. So this is what Ephesians 4 saying. I'm going to pick it up. At verse 7, it says, but unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended on high, he led captivity captive. You know what I'm saying? Captivity captive, and gave gifts unto men. Now I'm going to jump down. Verse 11, he said he gave some apostles and some prophets, evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of the Christ, or the body of anointed, like Jesus or Yeshua or Yahushua was anointed. Now, this talking about building up the body of anointed. He gave all these gifts, right? So he said till we all come to the unity of the faith, directive, right? And of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of the anointing, or the fullness of Christ, that we henceforth be no more tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. All this other stuff, you know, like Sister Tamar was saying, all this other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with building up the body of the anointed, or the Israelite, or, you know what I'm saying, by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive, right? Let me get this. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which he is the head, even Christ. Now check this verse. From whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which is every joint supply. He gave us all some gifts, and they all matter. That's what they read out to me. He said, according to the effectual workings in the measure of every part, maketh the increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. So the gifts in love build the body up, right? That's exactly what I'm hearing you say about this one nation thing. Now, I'm the church. So what is my gift? This is the doctrine that's being passed up, that everybody got a gift. It's all supposed to come together to supply the whole body, and you should tie where your gift is. You see what I'm saying? Because the book just said it. Every joint supplieth according to the effectual workings in the measure of every part. So according to the effectual workings, how am I into my gift? See, and if you tie to it, man, it's amazing, man. Just the whole 10% thing, just outside, it's a brilliant savings plan. The Most High is so suffice in what He do. You see what I'm saying? You start putting them 10% back, you know, because I do it on both sides. You know what I'm saying? For the tithe, and you know, just for me, because I want to do some other things. But it's amazing. Before you know it, that money will be up there, and it'll be keep growing. But it's just like y'all said, and I think that become the mission, because it's other brothers and other, because, you know, we deal with a lot of brothers and sisters, right, and they have some of these same thoughts, but their thoughts ain't grounded behind bringing forth the kingdom. You know, the One Nation Foundation, and all that you said, they said, hey, man, we're trying to bring forth the kingdom. You know, provide outlets for brothers and sisters to be founded in or grounded in or established in or seek help in, that we might be a nation. So all of these things, I'm the church. I'm tied to where he said man's gifts will make room for him. So what you're supposed to be doing for the body of Christ, you should be able to do donuts in that lane and not go out the lines. And whatever that is, man, tied to that, man, and build up the body. Don't forsake the internet for the people that's around you. You know what I'm saying? And all of this is exactly what the whole the premises of the radio station is. We look forward to building with y'all, connecting with y'all, because a lot of the things that y'all say y'all want to do, I myself, I was just telling Sister Tamar, you know, I kind of moved in the, like, suburbs, and I'm away from the people, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a people person. I want to go to the hood. When I come to your town, I want to go to Greek town and walk around. I want to go in the hood and see what's going on, you know what I'm saying, and talk to the people and be among the people and be known as a help among my people. I'm 100% behind what y'all on, man, and I love it, man. Sorry I was late, man. My life is an action movie. All right, go ahead, Sister Tamar.
It's all good. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into the music. The next song I want to play is, this song is really dope to me, but this song is called Kimberly. Chemberly.
Kimberly.
Yeah, that song is, I love it, but I'm going to stop talking. But yeah, so if you can just introduce that, and then we'll play it. So go ahead. Whoever wants to. No.
Judah Maccabeus, you got that one, huh?
Yo, I've been on mute, man. I'm over here driving on my way to work, man. But Kimberly, yo, it's kind of like a after song to the song I did called Gwendolyn. And I'm glad you guys actually let us speak before, because I didn't know it was going to happen, and explain the song, because this is one of those songs that kind of need a tad bit of explaining, just a little bit, because I'm throwing two names around very degradingly, two women's names that I've titled to two things that our crafty enemy has used against us. Gwendolyn is the Gwen Towers, and I say she's a hoe because she's on every corner. So when you see me calling Gwendolyn a whore, I am referring to Gwen Towers. If you don't know what that is, you might want to look that up. Kimberly, I'm throwing her name around recklessly because she's everywhere I see, everywhere I go as well. Kimberly being the chemtrails that they spray in the sky. So when I'm talking about Kimberly and Gwendolyn, I'm talking about Gwen Towers and chemtrails. Straight like that.
Yeah. So again, this is Kimberly, and as always, listen to the lyrics. Here we go.
Yeah. I done switch up and kept going. I done broke all of the chains. I am no longer a slave. Walking that day with my brain. Gwendolyn all in my ear. Kimberly all in my lungs. You know I'm never gonna fear. You know I'm never gonna run. I done switch up and kept going. I done switch up and kept flowing. I done ran it up and ran off. I done clocked in and never clocked off. Try to clock me in and get glocked off. 31 let 22 off. I'm in this world of sin. skin. Kimberly all on my skin, Gwendolyn all in my head. I swear that bitch she the fed. Kimberly should be in jail, locked in a hole with no bail. I swear that Gwendolyn's trifling, all in the corner, no wiping. If you like it, I don't like it. Scriptures all in my rifle. We bolted up like the Eiffel. We bolted up like Titanic. He gave me a chance and I read it. He put it there and I grabbed it. I switched it up and kept going. I am not like the rest. I am on my way to the best. This shit of faith be my best. The word of God be my sword. I cut you down where you stand. I slay you up where you be. Gwendolyn all in my head. Kimberly all that I breathe. Gwendolyn everywhere. Kimberly all that I see. Brother rats chasing cheese. I just switched it up and kept going. I just switched it up, kept going. Gwendolyn all in my head. Fluoride all in my teeth. Kimberly all that I breathe. Nephilim everywhere. Stuck in the matrix ruby. I'm bolted up like the Eiffel. I see your shit like the Titanic. He put it there and I grabbed it. We waking up, they can't stand it. I just switched it up and kept going. I just switched it up, kept going. I cut you down where you stand. I slay you up where you be. Gwendolyn everywhere. Kimberly all that I breathe. I cut you down where you stand. Kimberly all that I breathe. Hey.
Why this trick Kimberly be thinking she so fly? Every time I see a bruh, tell me why she high. Kids wanna play, but I take them back inside. What's that in the sky? What's that? Hey, Gwendolyn already got us all tripping. Just wait till your government got us all tripping. They whip up the product, but where was the kitchen? Send Kimberly out on the heinous mission. When everyone's sick, call it Kimberly seed. And the one thing we all got in common is breathing. Coughing and sneezing, they call it the flu. And got Kimberly giving out medicine too. Conspiracy with no theory, fam. Because of Gwendolyn, you can't hear me, man. Trying to wake you up so we can take us home. Clean the traps out of this aerodrome. I got Gwendolyn all in my brain. I got Kimberly all in my lungs. I got Gwendolyn all in my... Oh, man.
Gwendolyn everywhere. Kimberly all that I bring. I cut you down where you stand. Kimberly all that I bring. Hey.
Gwendolyn everywhere. Kimberly all that I bring. I cut you down where you stand. Kimberly all that I bring. Hey.
Gwendolyn everywhere. Kimberly all that I bring. I cut you down where you stand. Kimberly all that I bring. Hey.
Gwendolyn everywhere. Kimberly all that I bring. I cut you down where you stand. Kimberly all that I bring.
Ezekiel 4, verses 13 through 17. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Then said I, Lord God, behold, my soul hath not been polluted, for from my youth up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself or is torn in pieces, neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity. So, I don't know, I thought, it's interesting that the song period is interesting because, I mean, first of all, it's like, it's a metaphor, but it's talking about something that I have not heard in truth music yet. So I'm gonna just say that nobody talks about that. You know what I'm saying? So I hear people talking about it like in passing, but not pointing out those things. And so it's interesting. And then environmental pollution period is we all I was actually thinking about this the other day. Like I live in I'm from Chicago, right? So I understand the dead grass, Ganan, I get it. But no, but now I live in Maryland, you know what I'm saying? And Maryland is beautiful. You drive through, and there's trees and stuff everywhere. But I had a thought the other day. I said, I wonder what real air smells like, clean air smells like. Because I don't think none of us know. Where have you ever been? Even if you went hiking somewhere, because I've been hiking before, but even then, I'm like, is that really what the air smells like? That thought raced in my head. And even the concept of, having all these allergies. Like, do we really have allergies? Even with the food, because I know a lot of Israelites is like vegans now. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm on that same thing. But I think I think the point is that we have all these illnesses, and not that the Most High, not the one cursing us, because we didn't already establish we curse. But there's always a duality. You know what I'm saying? And I forget who said it in the beginning, but somebody already said that where there's levels to it, right? So we know that the scriptures are spiritual, but they always talk about the physical too. So it may be true that you are cursed, but it's probably because of the food that you eat. You know what I'm saying? So he always provides a physical manifestation of the curse. And the food that we eat is not even food, which is a whole nother conversation. But like my son, for example, my oldest son, from day one, he was allergic to milk. Now, I didn't grow up drinking milk. My father wouldn't let us drink milk. You know what I'm saying? He had some understanding, but he let us drink milk. But anyway, so I never had a taste for it. But my oldest son would drink milk and then or any kind of dairy, and he would start breaking out. And so anyway, so the point is that it's things like that our body is telling us something is wrong, but we continue in it out of ignorance because now he don't eat cheese and his eczema cleared up and he's not wheezing like he used to. But that took years to even get to that understanding. Had I had the information early on that the food we eat is not really food, then maybe he could have avoided all that. But it is something to definitely the Most High mercy because the understanding we have is by His mercy. But it's the food that we eat and it's jacked up. The air that we breathe in is jacked up. We have all these illnesses. Look. I think they said recently that cancer. I had went to this, and I'm sorry, just real quick, I'll be quiet. But there was this thing I went to recently. It was a conversation about immunotherapy, which is basically instead of you taking chemotherapy, or actually if chemotherapy don't work, then immunotherapy is the next wave or whatever. But I asked a question about whether or not you could fasting was beneficial, and the guy kind of blew me off. You know what I'm saying? But this whole thing with the food being messed up and the allergies is big business. And somebody said, I think the guy who was a doctor, he said in that conversation that more people now will probably get cancer in their lifetime. And I'm like, what is that even about? Like, why now? But I'm sorry. So it's mind blowing. But I did want to acknowledge the fact that song is real, and anybody talking about that. But go ahead. I'm not sure who wants to jump in.
All I was going to say was the scripture to back all what you're saying up is Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now, like you said, us being ignorant growing up, being that most of our parents were learning from their parents who was learning from their parents, we didn't know. But now that we have all this information, we can choose whether or not we vaccinate our kids. You can choose whether or not you feed your kids that crap.
Right.
So if like you said, these things are talking in the spirit, but they do manifest themselves in reality. If you don't know what you're doing, you're more subject to some of these things that's out here. It's talking about you said more people are supposed to be getting cancer than any other times because they put carcinogens in everything in the world. You heat up a plastic microwave safe Tupperware, it emits a certain chemical into your food. You heat up a non-stick skillet, they didn't lace a certain way to where that's low-key poisoning you too. So, I mean, there's so many crafty ways they use to poison us. You getting knowledge on most of or at least seeking the knowledge, looking in, don't just go with what the norm is. That's why most of our people, they just do what they're told. Oh, yes, flu season. Let's go get this Kimberly shot real quick with all her ingredients in it.
The Kimberly shot.
Kimberly shot.
Yeah, but it's true, and it's funny because my youngest son is not vaccinated, but my two older sons had got vaccinated, and it's funny because when my sister finally told me, I think after I had my last kid, but she was like, "Oh, the vaccines, they're unclean," and I thought she was tripping. I was like, "What are you talking about?" But then when I went and looked at the ingredients, which is public information, so this is the information age. It is no reason for us to be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And even if we know the information and still choose not to adhere to it, you know what I'm saying? We know. I think it says in Romans 1 that everybody is without excuse. You know what I'm saying? We all at some point somebody gonna say something to us about something, and we still have a choice on whether or not we're gonna adhere to it. But she said that to me, and he ain't been vaccinated. And it's funny because all these little weird illnesses that my other kids had, he never had none of them. Like his immune system is amazing. You know what I'm saying? But we think that the Most High is stupid. We think he needs help. He don't need no help. He told you what to eat. Even though I know there's a big debate about whether or not we eat meat now, which I'm not going to get into, but he told us what to eat, right? So apparently he knows better. Just like you as a parent, you know what's best for your kid, and we witness that all the time. I know I do. I tell my kids to do something, and they don't do it, and then they get an attitude about it, and I'm like, but I know. I've been here longer than you. I know better than you, but we don't think the Most High think the same way. We act like he don't have he can't possibly have that same kind of sentiment. You know what I'm saying? So it's giving him the respect that he needs and the respect that he needs is so that we grow. Even the concept of the One Nation Foundation is beautiful because the idea of a farm, we should be able to get our food from our brother or sister who keeping the law and know what is clean and unclean. Why are we making it so hard? You know what I'm saying? So,
well, sister, this is part of it right here. When it comes to the Gwyn Towers, when it comes to the chemtrails, these are different aspects of the captivity of our people right now.
Right.
We've been freed with the Messiah freed us already. We're free to begin to build and come together. We're free to do that. But the levels of this captivity comes through everything from the public education system through the fact that in our neighborhoods there's only certain grocery stores we can go to, to the job situation, to what comes through the TV screen and what's going over the airwaves. These are all levels to our captivity. So I was speaking to my grandmother last month. I was over there. When the old folks speak, you listen. You feel what I'm saying?
Of course.
So she was confused because she my grandfather, he has some health issues. My grandmother, she has a little bit of her own, but she takes care of him. But she was like, I don't get why. Where's everyone getting all these weird illnesses? Like when I was young, we didn't have this and this, that, and the other. And now people got knee problems, back problems, da da da. And I'm like, hey, that I had to let her know. They basically educated the knowledge we used to have about certain things, how to take care of each other, out of us. And she understood that because I was telling her about something. I was talking to her about turpentine, right? Turpentine and sugar, right? And she was like, turpentine. How did I forget about that? And I was like, I don't know. She was like, that's what we used to use down south because my family's from Louisiana. And she was like, yeah, we used that for everything. We didn't get sick. We couldn't afford to go to the hospital. We used turpentine. I was like, all right, you start using it again. She was like, how do we forget, man? They take your kids to the school and they teach them this, that, and the other, and da 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 da. So each generation.
Hello?
For example, kill the Indian, save the man, right?
Right.
Same thing. That system never stopped. Now they kill who you are and create a so-called American because America, it doesn't exist. It's just an idea, something you must believe in enough to even call yourself an American.
That's right.
So
That's right.
in order to destroy any prior knowledge of how to take care of yourself as a people or whatever, they've got to strip that away, make you dependent on their knowledge, tell you you're not smart enough to figure it out, put so many stumbling blocks in the way that you don't even bother looking anymore. And then, hey, I guess I'll just take my kid to the hospital. I guess I'll just believe whatever I just heard on the radio that said this is good for you and that's not. I guess I'll just go with whatever everybody else is doing. So, like he said in Hosea 4:6, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge in all ways. For one, because we came away from the law, and for two, it's because we depend on the knowledge of our oppressors to take care of ourselves with, and that's never going to go anywhere at all. We're going to keep getting cancer. We're going to keep getting all these mental issues, asthma, everything, because we depend on them to tell us how to take care of ourselves when they're not even qualified to do so.
Right. And when you look at the medicines, like, okay, for example, this is really silly to me now that I know, but a jar of Vicks. A jar of Vicks is basically some Vaseline and some eucalyptus oil, right?
Yep.
So again, building with it's building with Israelites, right? But I learned that from my sister, so I'm just saying that the wisdom I have about food is I got that from my sisters in the Word. So I have one sister who she got locks, and she puts eucalyptus oil in her hair because her hair she has real pretty locks, and I was like, oh, how to keep your hair moisturized, blah blah. But she said, oh, I put eucalyptus oil in it. So anyway, I would end up going to the vitamin shop and getting it. But then when I looked it up, they said it's good for breathing issues. And so now I mixed that with some coconut oil, and I put that on my kid's chest. And a thyme tea, if you just go literally get some thyme from a plant and boil it in a tea, if you wheeze it get rid of that. It's so many things. But the point is that all these medicines is based on herbal stuff anyway. So you paying them to be ignorant. You paying them for something that, if you took time out. And I want to shout out John Boy, because John mentioned this last night. He said there's a book, and I forgot what the name of the book, so I apologize. But there is a book that lists all these different plants that we could be, looking at. Because I'm really keen on my middle son loves gardening. You know what I'm saying? Interested in plants or whatnot. But anyway, we went to the park the other day on the Sabbath, and he went around picking up dandelions and picking up what we ended up finding out was a buttercup, which is not to be ingested, but it's good for the excellent skin. But anyway, for all these different information, we should be gathering amongst ourselves and researching it, because what John said was that one of the plants in the book was in his backyard. So it's around us. And then in situations where, when they start setting up this system, which, people don't necessarily agree with, even within amongst Israel, but when it's such a system where you can't buy or sell without this mark on you, what are we going to do now? Somebody has to have the wisdom. Somebody got to be, and like your grandma, somebody needs to be passing the information along. Pass it on. If you know something, pass it on to your neighbor, literally, so that at least they have information. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, the Most High cover us, but it's going to have some wisdom. He's not going to pop up and say, okay, this is what you do. I mean, I think he's fair. He allows us the information to be there, but we just need to stop being lazy. We are intellectually lazy. We sit back and let people tell us the truth. We sit back and we just consume information, and we don't even check to make sure it's true. And that is against Scripture, because it talks about the Bereans in the New Testament who were, I forget what they called them, but it pointed out how they were more, I don't want to say worthy, but it kind of praised them for being diligent about what they were learning. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get back to that and just stop being lazy.
Well, I just want to piggyback on something. Sister brought something out there. It said you said that he's not going to come down, but he's already there amongst us. Where two or more gathered, touching and agreeing in my name, there I shall be in the midst. So through the Spirit, He has given us the knowledge.
Yeah,
and
amen.
We stand firm on Philippians 2. Yeah. And verse 6 is very clear that the Anointed One didn't consider it to be robbery to be equal with the Father.
Equal God, yeah.
We should not consider it to be robbery for us to all have equally.
Come on.
For us to care for each other and to think on each other. This is not robbery. My brother doesn't want to rob me. He cares about me. He wants to help me. You get it? I want to help him. I'm thinking on his things. You know what I'm saying? The things that I'm thinking on, I'm not building them for me. I'm building them for Ganan's children. You get what I'm saying? And the work that Ganan's doing, he's doing it for my children.
Right.
You know, so all praises to the Most High for that. We got to get out of that mindset and understand that we're all together in this. We are finishing the work, we're not finishing the work. Yeshua is the finisher of the work, but we are building the work. We are part of the building. We're part of the building.
We are the building, right? You are God's treasury. You are God's building, right? Amen. Can y'all still hear me?
Come.
Okay, sorry. It got quiet. So I didn't know if my phone was tripping. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I agree 100%. A lot of these things, but I think it's mostly about understanding the weed and the tear thing, man, to get the direction on where we're looking. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think y'all taking focus in this one nation foundation thing and setting your affections there. It's straight from the Most High, because it ain't for everybody.
Exactly.
And a lot of people come, and like you said, I like that, because I'm like that too. When we started the radio station, the first thing I said was no vomit on the table. We're going to be open, we're going to communicate, we're going to have conference calls. We're not going to be playing no name games. We're going to really get out here and build with the people and try to bring the people of the book together. That was the whole bottom line. We don't go into intellectual teachings and all that. I got some opinions about the new moon, but my opinions about the new moon ain't gonna power this people up. So we look to the power up of the people, and the power up of the people is to love one another, and that, and that is let this mind be in you that was also in Christ. Mm-hmm. That is that. You know what I'm saying? And you can read that all over the book. You know what I'm saying? The Old Testament, New Testament. love one another, the power of. So that's what we own. And anybody that come through that ain't on it, they ain't gonna be around that long. I always push the end of the thing. What is the end of the thing that we're trying to do? I be trying to say, sometimes I know a lot of people don't get me, but what is the end of what we're doing? You know what I'm saying? Because when you see the end, then you know to keep walking toward what you see. But if you're just going, you know, you're going to be bumping into stuff, but now tunnel vision come with the end. Ultimately in the walk, it's the throne. It's to be able to boldly walk up to that throne and make the cut, you dig? So, and ain't no co-defendants at that, you know what I'm saying? So, ain't no team sports at that at that throne, you dig? It's just you. Yeah, wear and knee bow, you know what I'm saying? And everybody give account to their thing. So, I'll let you go. Hold on. What I was saying was, I kind of lost my thought right there.
But I get what you're saying, though. Basically, at the end of the tunnel is Christ's return. Shall we make it that far? Okay.
Amen.
We're all gonna have to give account on judgment, and at the same time, when this is the way I see it when I'm explaining it to my brother, to someone who's lost and don't know that there's work to do. Christ is at the gate. This is my Father's house. Okay.
Amen.
Now, when you show up to the gate, is he gonna dap you up like, my brother? What's good?
Yeah.
Come in. Or is he gonna be like, bro, I don't even know you, bro.
Right.
Gone. Come on, man. If you're putting in the work, he's gonna know. No thing is dark or will be not hitting the light.
That's right.
He knows our works.
Right.
So you might as well put in the most work you can, because at the end of the day, he wants to see faithful servants.
That's right.
Even though we're in captivity, he knows we may not build all the way up to the top and be this one nation foundation. He know how Esau is, man. They'll go to war with us. Let's be real. I don't got F-16 fighter jets either. So at the end of the day, when he comes back to restore order and restoration and bring back the kingdom, he wants to see faithful servants. Like, okay, they had the right idea. They were trying to do exactly what the book said, and they were trying to get it right established while I was gone. It's good.
Amen.
That's how I personally feel.
And
they're trying to come back to people who are actually putting in some labor.
Isaiah 6:8. Isaiah heard the voice of the Lord. He said, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And he said, here am I, send me.
That's right. Hey, man, pick me.
Go forth. That's what he's looking for. The Most High is looking for people to go for him.
That's right.
That's it.
And that confirmed, that's my fault, but that confirmed in the scripture, all throughout the scripture, when they're building the tabernacle in the wilderness, the Most High sent Moses to get those that were of a willing heart. When David built the temple, he started giving up the bread. He was giving up all the money, and he said, man, I'm giving up this and this and this. Then he asked all the people, he said, man, who among you will give of a willing heart? Everybody jumped up and gave. And then David realized this all the Most High work in the hearts of the people. Who am I? I ain't nobody, and none of these riches is mine. They all his. And then when you get to Ezra and them, and they was rebuilding the temple, same thing. Cyrus requested, who among you is of a willing heart to go back up to Jerusalem and build a temple? So now when we the temple of God, and it's our gifts that edify the body of Christ in love, then it certainly got to be of a willing heart, not by constraint. You know what I'm saying? You got to want to do this, man. And the only way you really going to want to do this is if you clearly see that end. What is the end of this? The end of this is walking in the cool of the day, and wiping away your tears, like the book say, being present with the Most High power. In the Psalms, I think 55, it say, one thing have I desired, to require of you at your tabernacle. That's the one thing. That's that kingdom shot. That's the end game. There's will you find yourself? Because we all fall short. So nobody, ain't no high fives here on earth suffice to say I made it. You dig? You know, your boy is jumping up. Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you go, boy. No, ain't no you go, boy. Because every day is a battle, man. Any day I can get out of body, or we often lean on 1 John 3 and 4 to describe sin. For sin is the transgression of the law, and that is true. But in the book of Proverbs 24 and verse 9, it say the thought of foolishness is sin.
Right.
So how sinful are we? Even on my best day, on my best day in my walk, there's some foolish thoughts come through my head. Conversation me and the brothers was having earlier, about some of the things that Christ said. Well, Christ said, "Don't call your brother a fool." And then he turned around and called the Pharisees fool. And the brother, he pointed that out, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm in the truth. I'm not in the rationalizing, justifying, or nothing. That's point blank. He said don't do it, and he turned around and did it. But then that's if you looking at him like that. Because he said, man, why call thou me good? There's none good. Right. So if you're looking at him like, man, he can't, then you ain't considering inside your heart how many times you ain't got aggravated with your brother and called him something either inwardly or outright, you know what I'm saying? Outright called him it, you know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't have. So, we all, he struggled in the flesh. His struggle was here, but, it say David was a man after the Most High own heart, right? But we seen David fail a whole bunch of ways, like,
Right.
Went from perverted up on the roof to, the adultery to lying, the murder. David did a lot of failing there. And then this failing got 10 of his wives. That whole thing that went down, because the commandment came through with the 10 wife thing, right, before the Amnon, Tamar, and Absalom thing jumped off. But ultimately, that whole Absalom thing led to the Most High commandment coming forth, where his wife got raped up on the roof by his son. He did. So, we talking about sovereign power that control the earth, and when that's taken out of the basis of your study, then it's like every wind of doctrine. You going everywhere. You don't see the nation of Israel. You don't see the body of Christ, the body of the anointed people in the earth that was called to do a job and bring forth truth. Even in the 6th day, he said, subdue the earth, you know what I'm saying, with this truth. That's why it's here. But, we write and devour one another in the book. Tell us about all this. But it ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Paul popped up in the town. Paul got up with the tent makers. You see what I'm saying? Because it was some kind of industry thing, and they was keeping each other up. The book even talked about the Greeks complaining because they wasn't doing the work. But the people got together and said, okay, we still got to do the work we got to do while we're in here. So certain of us got to do that work while the rest of us keep on building at what we own. So they was working together, and it wasn't about no. See, I searched the book for synagogue, right? It said at one time in the Old Testament, it shouldn't have never been translated synagogue. It should have been translated congregation. It's in Psalms, right? I don't see where the Most High told nobody to put up no synagogue. This is the problem. This is the planned church thing. You see what I'm saying? Instead of us setting up industry, we trying to set up,
buildings.
Buildings. You know what I'm saying? When really the park is ours, the earth is ours. We was talking about the grass, all this is ours. We got home. And then it's a little bit of Roman Catholicism in the picture, but we don't see it because once you take the synagogue off the table and you realize that the Most High turned his back on Israel up in Babylon, so that stuff there is coming up with one nothing, man. One no nothing. Set us all course. This spawned the Pharisees and the Sadducees. This was the people trying to put this thing together on their own. But the instructions is there simple. So now this is where the synagogue stuff, because they was playing church in Babylon. We're still the religious Jews. No, you the kicked out the land Jews that they messed up. You know what I'm saying? So that whole but they still playing church. Now consider the matter. And a lot of times we think that the book is talking backwards, but the book is telling us who we are right now. You can find all these things, all these schisms in the body. Everything is right here in front of us.
Straight up.
So the true believers that's into the work and understand, man, this all got an ending, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful in his time, man. He made this thing the way it is, man. The hate, the evil, the wicked, the evil gods. The Israelites don't want to say that. They want to say it's the white man. A lot of them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't his. He said, man, I create evil. Consider the matter. He said he's a terrible God. before Isaac was born, we was in Egypt in captivity. Before we left the wilderness, we was in America in chains. Man, God controlling this thing, man. And all we can do is fall into the plan where he move our hearts to fall into the plan. The problem being the growth won't grow because the elders perpetuate the same learning over and over and over again. They teaching the same lesson, but the thing close to growth, just like you guys is younger, I'm a little younger than my elders, and I see something different. Then y'all see something different. Y'all go to the elders like, well, hey, man, this right here seemed to be talking about building the nation. You know, they couldn't see it. You know what I mean? Nevertheless, it ain't about them because, you know, if the Most High put something in you, you got to go forward with it. And I'm heavy in encouragement of that, with the music, with everything. The brother with the Ebo toys, and I hope the Most High bless him, man, so he can get them prices down, man, so that we can flood the Hebrew cribs with Hebrew action figures for the kids, and then we can start playing with Flash and Shazam and Batman and all these mythological characters. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is a building. This is a building, man. The book say this, right? Now speaking, and I'm sorry, I'm in my thing. I'm sorry. I apologize up front. The book say this. This thing is about bringing forth the kingdom. This is what the book say. The book say in the Psalms it say. Out of the mouth of babes have he ordained strength because of thy enemy, right? Now, I'm talking toward while we playing church, right? Because he just said he put the perfection in the strength, he put the strength in the babies to overcome the enemy, right? Then Christ come and quoted, he called the perfection, this ordained strength, he said this ordaining of strength was the perfection of praise. So why are we playing church? Because the Most High said, the book says we're going to overcome our enemies through us teaching them to our sons and our sons' sons, putting these things into practice, these things we know about chemtrails and all these things. We put these things into practice and come out of and separate, build up, like the One Nation Foundation, the brother Asa down there in Atlanta with the farm, and so on and so forth. It's what's y'all sister Yalaman? She's in
Kentucky.
Israelite Women Farming Committee or something.
Yeah, she's in Kentucky, but she's part of can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was asking about the name of the group that she's in, of the women farmers. You know what I'm saying? That's big. That's big. That's nation building. You see what I'm saying? Because, like I said, the book say, while you in Babylon, build houses and plant gardens, right? But the Israelites, they want to cry about GMO. But he gave us the instruction to survive the thing. He said plant gardens. It's simple instruction. So in the Israelite, it had to become, now since he told us our strength to overcome the enemy is in the baby, since he told us that, then in our mind we have to say that our kids are more important than us. Their learning is us bringing them out of it. It's got to be a direct turn to the attention of building the kids up to not only want to see the Sabbath every week, but to call the Sabbath a delight. Say, man, I can't wait to go to Sabbath class. We got to take directive like that because he said that. I didn't say it. Christ kept saying these little ones, because it's the increase in knowledge and truth, because his plan going to come forth. How do it come forth? In the people, in the hearts of the people. But then the people got to understand or have an understanding of what type of control they're really in. So if he created good and evil, then Proverbs 16, we say he created all things for himself, even the wicked for the evil day. Then Romans, you get in Romans, and it's telling you don't resist our power. You know what I'm saying? Our power is controlling the earth. But we don't see it that way. We take him off the plate, and we try to deal with man. The Edomite doing this, and they doing that. And old boy them down there doing that. But the book really tells a story about a sovereign power, what they call the end from the beginning. Okay, I yield. I'm sorry.
Iyaraah.
All right, Con.
Yeah, man. we were just talking about quite a bit of what he was just saying, were we not?
Hey man, you know, the Most High keep it on our lips, bro.
Yeah, real,
man.
Because
I just wanted to. Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, you go.
The brother Maccabeus brought out something, and here at the foundation, you know, man, I hate using it like that, but you know what I'm saying. The brothers that are together here, you know, we in like mind on one accord, you know. So I'm not gonna use that foundation stuff, you know, but
it sounds good.
We are on one page here, and you know, we started to look at some things as far as the end game. What's the end game? The end game is the kingdom. And we had to start realizing that we were using words without understanding the meaning of it. This kingdom means rulership. So our end game is to reestablish our rulership in the earth underneath Christ. He's coming to put it down completely. There will be no more sin that raises up ever again. Nobody will ever have a thought to look at a woman lustfully anymore in this kingdom because of what we do right now. Preparing our minds right now, according to the law. You're not going to have the opportunity to go cleanse your mind at the end game. You're either going to be there. It's appointed to man to die once and then the judgment, right? To live once and then the judgment, right? So we must understand that if that's the case, and we're going to receive a new body to go along with the new mind that we renewed according to Scripture, it has to happen now. It has to happen now. So either the book's a fairy tale or everything's true. Okay, so if everything's happening in reality and in this world that we are in right now, and we must understand that we can't be looking at this situation. There has to be something happening so when the Anointed One shows up, everybody's already in place. He has people who he could choose to be governors or senators or do this or do that, and he doesn't have to teach the law. The law's been taught. According to the new covenant, he's writing it on everybody's heart and on their minds right now. So, you know, hey, all praises that the Most High continues to work in the earth and just bring brothers and sisters who together. Because, you know, they talk about it a lot. Gather the elect to the elect. He's gathering. All of us sitting online right now are witnesses and living proof of him gathering the elect to the elect.
Yeah, I know.
Salute.
Yeah. And I want to read this real quick, Matthew 24:45 and 46. It says, "Who then is a faithful and wise servant whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing." So you're absolutely right. We should be, you know what I'm saying, we should be right in the middle of the work. You know what I'm saying? We make it that far when he appears. You know what I'm saying?
Shall find so doing.
On top of that, because the brother mentioned for the children, right? And so, you know, on top of that, when you bring in the other nations, just using them as an example, you get like I mean, let's use Chinese people, okay? Or so-called Chinese people. They over there in China, they doing their thing. They keep their own holidays. They got their culture, their heritage, their language, how they treat each other, how they treat the women, the men, the children. You know, everything is according to them, their heritage, right? That's been passed down. And then they come here, and then their children grow up here in America trying to hang, and their parents are trying to teach them to hang on to that, but they lose it because, you know, they're no match for this. They're no match for this Babylonian programming. But then our children, we come into this knowledge of the truth, right? I'm an Israelite. I'm going to keep these laws. This is what I do. You know, it's the music we bump. This is what we eat, right? Then our children go to those same schools every day. And then come back to us, and we got to unscrew them every day. You know? But it has to come to a point. Yeah, it has to come to a point where we have that word holy is set apart, but I'm literally talking about set apart, separated to where our kids are not going to those places at all. You know, because they need to grow up the same way the African man grew up, the same way the Chinese man grew up, under their law, under their heritage, knowing who they are. That's all they know. They learned walking as an Israelite. They learned talking as an Israelite. They learned eating as an Israelite. They learned the law because I'm an Israelite. It's not this is what we do, then I got to go to school. Oh, it's a Shabbat, so I'm going to bump this, or I'm going to eat this. Oh, it's a holy day, okay, I guess we're going here. Nah, this is your life. It is not a vain thing. This is your life. You feel what I'm saying? So we need to get our children in order in a place, and out of this in a place, and building to get our people to a place where my children can leave their front door and there's Israelite children who keep the law, and just like their parents do. I ain't asking no questions. You know what I'm saying?
That's a community.
Yeah, that community thing is big.
That book now, Acts chapter 2. I don't really think nobody can really deny this is the setup for the church after Christ. You know what I'm saying? But they say that them people, they sold everything and had all things alike. That's an economical move being made. And then the next verse said they was house to house and in the temple, and you know, among one another. That's set apart. They came out of her and got on their own thing. And, you know, and all these things, I mean, the instructions is there. They're in there. I think we talked about it. You talked about it, how the Torah set in course a way of life. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, man. You can't be on usury with your brother, you know, because they do it to us. You know what I'm saying? One of the brothers brought that out. You know, they buying the weave. I think Brother Miles brought that up last night. And, you know, they buying the weave from back at home in China for 10 cents a wig, you dig? And then they charge you $80, $90 a wig, you dig? So, but the book tells us to function like that. Don't use your brother, but you could tax the stranger. That's what the book says. So, go ahead.
I agree with everything you're saying. I'm listening to everything up until this point. I'm just letting y'all know I got to go into the plantation and clock this 40 hours here. So you guys do your thing. It was a blessing to be on this radio show. All praise to the Most High. And then his son, Yeshua HaMashiach. Like I said, I'm blessed to be on here. I'm blessed. I see this work spreading all the way from Seattle to New York. That's literally the whole country. So I'm moved by what's going on. I see the people are all like-minded. The same spirit is testifying out of every brother's mouth, every sister's mouth. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know what song you guys about to play next, but yeah, it's some heat.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Whatever you guys are playing next, it's heat.
Right.
Whatever you finna play.
All praise to the Most High, y'all. I gotta go into this plantation, man.
I salute, bro.
I love you.
Everybody be easy.
Hey, man. Really, really hope to build with y'all and connect with y'all on a whole nother level, man.
Well, all I can say is, let's do this. Let's do it.
Yeah, we on it.
Yeah, we ready.
If we got to book flights and shake hands, we can book flights and shake hands. There's nothing to it but to do it. All praise to the Most High, y'all. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Mark.
Shalom.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play this last song because we are about 2 minutes before the show officially ends. But last song I want to play is A Nation Divided, of course, is right on time. And so, Ganan, if you can go ahead and introduce that, and then we'll come back at the end and talk about the mixtape that's coming soon. So anyway, again, Nation Divided. So go ahead and say something about that, Ganan.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah, Nation Divided. This here song, you know, the title speaks for itself, but it's not about being a nation divided. The song's actually about coming together as a nation. But as you go through these 3 verses, you're gonna hear some very powerful messages that I hope resonate with the brothers and sisters out there. Like I said, this was the one song that I felt like making targeted to those who already knew they was Israel, because I feel like this was needed to be said, not coming from a church aspect, that Western mindset of a church aspect, scratch the name church out and put camp there, right? But coming from a nation-minded aspect of speaking to my people in the music, okay? So, yeah, go ahead and play that. There's not too much else I want to say on that.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
this one part, because the brother brought up something earlier in a verse. in the scripture he was reading about the joints being fitting together. So this is also about that body, because people keep using that word but only talking about their own group or church or whoever they associate, their organization. That body is a nation of people. If we're all operating according to Christ, according to the laws, we are that body. We are that body, and we all were given, according to 1 Corinthians 13:9, a piece of the puzzle, and we just got to put it together. So go ahead, play the song. Praise the Most High. The song's from the crack.
Amen. Again, it's called Nation Divided, Ganan Yasharahla, and as always, listen to the lyrics. Here we go.
Shalom, Iyaraah, Ganan Yasharahla. Just another day in Babylon. Hey, we either unify or we die. We either come together or we perish. We're gonna be a nation united or a nation divided. Let's get it.
So many issues we face as a melanated race, destroying our own people over power we may never taste. Even though it's the knowledge, caught in fruitless debate. People on the sideline, watching like it's prime time. To edify or destroy is a fine line. They sitting there like, man, we supposed to follow these guys? We supposed to be alike, but can't seem to agree. Caught up in the scripture fight, brothers turn enemies. Worse off enemies, perpetrating unity like the Father doesn't see. He that works iniquity. Depart from me, I never knew none of y'all. Quick to throw shade, but never there when I call. When he cracks the sky, it's sheep and goats. Not the camp and the campless. Understand the message, the sword's getting reckless. Cutting the body, you say we all in the Christ, but I can't come to the body. These days being a stormy, it's miss me with all your corniness. Build on the foundation and become one nation.
God governs the body, you building and trying to stop me. This real, this ain't a hobby, Yasharahla, can you hear me?
Rise and get it moving, can't afford the time we losing. Build on the foundation and become one nation.
Father's been our strongest when we're standing united. One nation praising the greatest, so a nation divided.
When I point out the division, why you blame it on me? Bro, we from the same tribe, why you banging on me? Can we work, can we build, can we unify? If I don't join your church, am I doomed to die? Next level, Yasharahla 12 was all rebels, so we got to get it cracking. That one is what we lacking. We was all blessed with peace to the same puzzle. Got the same forefathers, so we came through the same struggle. Not one man knows it all. Can't overlook the law when quoting Paul. Becoming a stumbling block that made us fall. And y'all really gon' be tripping when them Edomites build a wall. Israelites standing tall, dry bones rising, brothers puffing their chest. Can't tell you what's next, but constantly want the flesh. Aren't you getting tired of that? I was guilty of it, but a higher had to check me. Didn't wreck me, then he blessed me. Being accepted to the flock and quit acting like you got the whole doctrine on lock. The scriptures ain't got to be busting at your ox. The fight, it must stop. What you think we on the block? A high, you're not stop. So sick and calm and walk to clean your clock. Best believe your shots to rock. Tell me why your foundation is faulty. And brothers stay thirsty cause the living water's salty.
Whereas the body is one, has many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body. So also is the Mashiach. For by one spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. For the body is not one member, but many. For the body is not one member, but many.
Set out on a mission to unite my nation. Sounds good, except it just ignites more hate. And everybody wanna be the HNIC, asking what camp I'm with, like they trying to see ID. Y'all don't see they trying to take us out, like scriptures in the NIV. Brothers getting tossed, disrespecting the boss. A higher sent the Messiah to pay that cost. If his own people won't rise or raise the rock, Israelites don't want the same dish as they dishing out to Christians. Everybody trying to eat, nobody wanna listen. Too many chefs up in the kitchen, none of the ingredients is missing. Same war, different mission, same dream, different vision, same prison, different sentence. We all sheep to the slaughter. Unify now or die here at Babylon starter. Yeah, I got strapped for war when I came out the water. And if you ain't trying to build, then I don't even bother. Dusting my feet up constantly, shaking these demons off of me. Reaching my hand in peace, but fakers don't want no parts of me. Beefing with no apology, failure to show the fault of me. I hear my father calling, the Babylon is falling. It's when you crack the sky, the sheep and goats. Not the camp and the campless. Understand the message, we've always been our strongest when we're standing united. One nation praising the greatest, so a nation divided.
Ezekiel 37, verses 7 through 10. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bones to his bones. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord God, come from the four winds of O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. So it's all a matter of time, you know what I'm saying, for this thing is complete. But definitely, you know what I'm saying, whatever we could do, you know, we are commanded, you know what I'm saying. We was bought with a great price, and we have to, you know, to do our portion. So Iyaraah just dropped out, so it's just you, Ganan, left. So what's going on with the new mixtape? Tell people about the mixtape and the release date and where they can find it.
Okay, so the mixtape is scheduled to be released on May 10th. Okay, and we know the Most High sometimes has another plan for you. So, but it's scheduled to be released on May 10th, right? You know, we you know, we hit in the studio and putting it all together is basically done. You know what I'm saying? But we're not gonna put all the songs up on Bandcamp until they're all done. So right now you can go to mixtapes.bandcamp.com and you can check out the first two singles, Double Barrel and that track you just heard, Nation Divided. You can download those there for free. This will be a free mixtape. Donate if you feel the need. But this is a free mixtape. It won't be the last. There'll be more coming and some albums, you know what I'm saying? The Most High continue to bless with the talent and the time and the work. Then, you know, the music will stay popping. But May 10th, that's where it's coming. And we're also looking to make a video for that Dead Grass track. So we're actually trying to get people together who want to be in the video and play some of these extras and play some of these roles. You know, someone to shoot the visuals. Actually, we already got someone locked down for that. But, you know, somebody to do a little bit in the makeup. We really want to bring some visuals to it. Like the same way where when you was little, you used to watch 106 in Park or whatever, and you was waiting for the dope music videos to come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We need to bring that to the truth music to reach, like I'm saying, reach those in the dark they're at. You turn the lamp on in the lit room, you don't really do much, you know. We're trying to reach them. So, you know, and that's not meaning to say is the you know, be like, you know, real flesh and carnal in the tunes, but to be able to speak, because this is what they do. This is what they do to us. They make that music, but they get you to the point where they can speak into your subconscious and plant their seeds. We need to be using that for the good of the Most High, to make this music and make it bump, make it sound good, you know, make it go hard, and then plant seeds within the minds of those who listen, good seeds. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, however we got to do it. But, you know, we're going to put the music video together, and the mixtape will be out May 10th. Look for that, and that's volume 1. So that usually means it's going to be volume 2 not too long after that.
Right. Yeah, but I definitely agree with you with the video. The videos, I think, well, I know the videos, they point out the fact that, you know, we just like everybody else, you know, as far as the way we look. So another brother or sister can see themselves in you if they know what you look like. Exactly. You know, we don't all dress alike. We don't all, you know, wear the same garments or whatever. So that's another tool, you know what I'm saying, to reach the people. And definitely, I want to just thank y'all for spending time with us and coming on the show. I've been excited about the work that y'all been doing since I've seen y'all host the event with John Boy, you know what I'm saying. I see a couple of other videos where y'all was out, you know what I'm saying, preaching. I think it was at a protest or something. But I pray, you know, I pray the Most High continue to be with y'all and that y'all stand strong and be the example, because you know, somebody got to go forth with what they know to be true, so that somebody else can be encouraged to do it where they at. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, Most High bless y'all in your household.
Also, any and everything that you're doing with the One Nation Foundation, you know, keep us in tune with it, because we want to promote it, and quite a few brothers that build with us, you know, that we might spread the word, so we can bring that thing forth. So,
hey, all praise the Most High. It's you know, this is for everybody. This is what we did, man. The title, the website, the T-shirt, all that is necessary in a system that's set up for. You can't find an organization without a website. You know what I'm saying? So that's all there. But I'm talking to you. You're one nation. We're the same nation. The foundation was already laid. We just got to build upon it. That's all it is. You know, and we got to link each other up to those who are like minds to do that same work. You got a gathering over there, and they're meeting up, and they're coming together, and they study together, they learn together. Continue to do that, but understand we're a nation, and we got to be linked up through these laws. We got to be linked up through these laws, and then we continue. The brother over there's got a business he want to put up because the storehouse is popping. Guess what? Your business is popping now, and it puts back in. And we continue to build all over the place to the point, like Iyaraah was saying, how did they do that? What did they do? We don't remember seeing the protests. We don't remember seeing the marches. What was they doing? We was keeping the law. That was it.
That's right.
And the Most High did the rest.
And I wanted to also say your website, because we've been saying it all night, but we didn't. For those who are listening online, it is www.nationfoundation.org. So definitely check it out and reach out to the brothers, you know what I'm saying, if you're listening. And not on Facebook, if you're listening, but just definitely stay in touch with the brothers and stuff. So again, Ganan, thank you again and thank you, Iyaraah and Judah out in Nowheresville, but no, for Bill. Oh, he just dropped too. Oh no, come on.
It's all good.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely real good brothers, man. Really hope they'll build with them. You know what I'm saying? One Nation Foundation. I understand the premises of it saying and how he kept. They continue to say, man, I don't want to call it this because they're not building around we the One Nation Foundation. They building around all of us is the One Nation Foundation. They just want to be an outlet to the people. That's like-minded with everything that we seek to do with the radio station and a lot of other things that they do, we seek to do too. So definitely going to be in contact with them brothers up there in Washington. Also, DJ Tabor. Brilliant brother. Tabor. I get it wrong every time. But anyway, yeah, definitely definitely en route to bring forth the gathering of the people, man, and establishing ourselves together. Okay, I yield.
Yeah. And thanks to everybody that tuned in. Sorry. Ask Jacob.
Amen.
Okay, so come get ready. Hold on, Isaiah. Hey, Isaiah.
Brother Isaiah.
Hey, shalom, y'all. Hey, great job. You know, I'm here. Put my work in the vineyard. Tuning in. Ain't nothing like doing my artwork and listening to y'all brothers and sisters talk. It's music is, man. It's paradise. So hey, just keep up the good work, man. God is good, man.
And you keep up the good work too, brother Isaiah, with your beautiful.
Yeah, hey Isaiah, did you drop the? Did you drop? No, it's all good. Did you drop the new comic?
I'll actually work on it right now, man. It's like the Lord is just with my hands, man. It's like I do a real good job, and then I go back to that same page and do an even better job. So, man, this is getting better and better, man. Because right now I'm working on, it's called Exodus 20. I'm just leaving it like that. You know, basically the Lord's taking out the commandments, and the Lord gave me the understanding on how to bring out the mountains, the earthquakes, the thundering, the pillar of the cloud with the fire among it. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting all that into this when the Lord came to the children of Israel, and it's looking real good. You know what I'm saying? My hands tied, man. I just literally drew over 1,000 some people on one page. You know what I'm saying? You got your 3 layers. You got your big layers with the real good artwork, and get your middle layer with the middle people, and then you got the hundreds of thousands in speckles. But they're in speckles because when it's a group of people, you draw them in speckles. So it looked like a multitude of people in front of a mountain that's burning with fire, and a dark pillar cloud, with the Lord upon it, bringing the 10 Commandments. So this is real good, you know. I might be done probably March 10th. No later than that, because you know it's a lot of work.
March 10th, 2018.
No, not 2018. It'd be 2017.
But you know, like the brothers that's putting music out, you know, it's like you know, it's like they want to do. It's like they put their best work out. You know, and I feel that it's like if the Lord bless you or something, you know, do it to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, Cain and Abel. You know what I'm saying? When Abel did the best he could, the Lord accepted it. But when Cain just gave him some whatever, you know what I'm saying? The Lord had no respect to it. So you know, it's just the fact that you know if the Lord bless you with something, I want it to be the best that I can do for the Lord, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's where I'm at right now, you know. It's looking real good. I thank God for giving me the opportunity to put the artwork out. But I'm in the middle of making it, you know. It's hard work, but somebody got to do it, you know.
Hey,
got to go to that end.
Now you bringing a precept out on Wednesday nights on the Sounds of Living Water, right? You got the information?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What the title gonna be?
It's called Put Your Trust Not in Riches.
Put Your Trust Not in Riches. Oh, yeah, that definitely should be interesting. And you know the phone number and the website?
What was that?
The phone number and the website and the time.
Okay, I would have been prepared if I knew all these questions.
That's what I was telling you last week, man. You know,
I got you, Isaiah. Don't worry about it. So it'll be tomorrow, right? Yes, May 3rd tomorrow, 7 to 8 Eastern. Sorry, 7 to 8 Central, so 8 to 9 Eastern time. The number is 516-418-5763, and there's an access code is 170020. So again, 516-418-5763, access code 170020.
I think that's Nehemiah. I think that's Nehemiah for Thursday, because we just do the
Wednesday. No, this is from tomorrow. It's May 3rd.
Oh, it is. Oh,
yeah.
Man, I shouldn't even question you, Tim. I forgot you the wheel turner, right? I apologize, man. I have no right to question your authority.
I heard that so long. Just like you always call it. I miss Josiah. When I see Josiah, tell him I say, hey, I don't know if I see him or not, but tell him I say, hey, I miss him.
But I think also that that's the conference call number with the access code. But it's on Blog Talk as well.
Right. I was gonna get to
it. And that phone number is 516-418-5763. It's Sounds of Living Water. That's the name of the Blog Talk radio station. Brother Joe and Sister Rhea. So, yeah, we just be on point with that, you know what I'm saying, and keep it going. I'm eager to hear that one, man. That's a great topic. Putting out your trust in riches.
Hey, man, I'm talking about, man, I'm talking about because the precept was already done. But it's like once you start reading your Bible, because you know, in the background when I'm doing my thing, you know, I be having like 5 lessons playing. You know, I got the IOG playing, the House of Jacob. I got the playing, Sounds of the Waters playing, and it's like I know that's my OCD. I know I can't help it, you know. But anyways, it's like so much be going. It's so much going into their head at one time, and it's so much interesting things you hear from the brothers when they talking. You know what I'm saying? But what I did was, you know, the lesson was already done, but I wanted to put a little more up in it. So I just went to the book of Ecclesiastics, and I was able to pull some stuff up out of there to add on to the precept. You know what I'm saying about vanity? You know what I'm saying? Like in the you know what I'm saying? Like what did it say? Hold on one second.
Vanity, Lord.
Oh, hold on one second. I read it, definitely when Max McLean be saying it.
Max McLean.
Vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
Yeah. That's
important,
man.
Just imagine if Bowie and McLean did a lesson together. Bowie was doing the lesson he was reading. Man, that'll get a million views with that reading.
Oh my goodness.
but check out this right here. Like for example, this right here. This is the book Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 1. It said the words of the preacher, the son of David, king of Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, said the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit have a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to throw that up in there. I ain't gonna get into that because I don't want to mess up my precept because y'all hear the Lord's will tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's a real good one, and I understood it. You know what I'm saying? Like how like how everything is vain. You know what I'm saying? Like how, like for example, if your whole option in life was to make money, you know what I'm saying? But it's not for the Lord. It's just to get your bank right. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's vain. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Why are you putting all your trust in riches when the Lord says set your riches in heaven? You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I'm saying? We're not we're dross and moth or something like that. I can't get off the top of my head, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Where the moth and rust does corrupt. Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, so all that is up in there, man. It's gonna be a good one, man. I'll put some good stuff out.
Amen. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to close out. Thanks, Isaiah, for tuning in. Tuning in, and then also the comments and stuff. So, we will have. I don't know announcements right now, but I guess this coming Monday, the people Hebrew Hip Hop. The Fifth Element, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and then we'll be back most high willing next week, next Tuesday, Hebrew Bars and Verses, with a new, not a new guest, but with another guest, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. So grace, peace, everybody. We love you.
Wait, hold on. This Saturday we're in the Purge series, looking in the book on everything we got to purge out of us to make it into the first fruit, and we'll be dealing with guile. So I encourage everybody to look at guile in the book and see what it is, then join in the conversation, and let's build with one another. Okay.
Yep.
Amen.
7 Eastern, 6 Central. So grace be to everybody. We love you, and until next time, be good to each other. Peace.
To do the things you do. I know you've been conditioned to think the way you do. But it's hard to come out of sleep and reclaim your nationality. 'Cause you're not like all these other people. You are Israel. You're a set apart people. Oh yeah, come out of her. You're a set apart people. Oh yeah, come out of her. Come out of her. Now before we formed you in your mother's womb, he chose you. Yeah, he chose you. And before we created all these nations, he chose you. Oh yeah, he chose you. Oh yeah, and that is why you gotta keep his law in the faith of his son, the black Messiah. And don't join in with these other nations. They're not like you. You're a set apart people. Oh yeah, come out of her. You're a set apart people. Oh yeah, come out of her. Come out of her. Israel, please separate and rely on your own people. 'Cause as you look around, we're not equal. Israel, there's gonna come a day when we will see Christ. And he's not just saving you, but us together. You're a set apart people.